Boku no Hero Academia, chapter 185 of the manga. Man, do we have a lot to talk about in this chapter. Everything from the theme of Icarus to All Might's retirement, and this end screen with what looks to be a more enhanced and evolved Nomu. Now, because you clicked the video for Kurogiri and his possible Nomu, we're going to talk about that first, but do stick around for the other themes of this chapter. Let's begin. What's really interesting about this chapter of Boku no Hero Academia is before it was released, we actually got a leaked photo of this Nomu that's at the end of the chapter. It has a hunched back, its spine is sticking out, it has some sort of neck column embrace, maybe it's just muscle fibers, and the obvious eyes that many people on the internet have said resemble Kurogiri's. To be perfectly honest, I was not a fan of this theory when I first heard it. Sure, the Nomu's eyes definitely look like Kurogiri, aka Dark Mist's, but to me, they also look like Dark Shadow's eyes in Rampage style, or for that matter, any other character that is evil and is glaring. The Nomu also has sort of an elongated neck and it's muscular, and this kind of resembles Kurogiri's like metal sheath he has around his, but for me, those 2 points weren't enough to tie together that this Nomu automatically maybe possessed Kurogiri's quirk or is stemmed from him. That is until randomly today I decided to watch Season 3 Episode 2 out of boredom and came across this opening scene. Here we see Kurogiri specifically talk to this villain known as Giran or Giran, some sort of businessman or manufacturer, about specifications that were very advanced, and he's apologizing that they're so complex and maybe on short notice. Now, this could be Kurogiri ordering up a Nomu or some sort of custom, more evolved Nomu with his quirk. The problem is we don't know whose specifications they are. It could have been Kurogiri asking for this and that's why he's apologizing, or it could have been Shigaraki and Kurogiri was just the one to ask the businessman and that's why he's apologizing. Now, with this villain Giran or Giran, however you pronounce it, this manufacturer businessman guy, we know that someone, Giran, is making something for the League of Villains. Now, what are they making? Well, it's pretty obvious that they're making Nomu. Whether or not it was Shigaraki's order for a Nomu or Kurogiri's, from this scene is not clear, and unfortunately we don't really know that. But we do know there is a Nomu factory. In fact, when the heroes descend upon the villain hideout in a previous manga chapter to save Bakugo, they actually discover a Nomu factory, and they're all in the vats, getting ready to be made. So we do know that this outside party, led by Giran and his other businessmen, are making Nomus for the League of Villains. Now this scene by itself doesn't mean that Kurogiri custom ordered a Nomu with his quirk. It could have been Shigaraki's Nomu, and in fact he had to have ordered one specifically for the training camp arc because he unleashed one with the Villain Vanguard Action Squad. Remember, Awase has to save Yayorozu and he later welds the tracker onto the Nomu's back. This is actually how the heroes find the Nomu factory. However, the other piece of evidence we get that Kurogiri and Shigaraki together could be making these custom, more evolved, more enhanced Nomu is at the end of chapter 185. Hawk specifically asks Endeavor for a team up because, lo and behold, his area of Japan is facing Nomu reportings. Also remember that this is the first time Hawk's area of Japan has seen Nomus, so something tells me that it's quite far from the Kamino ward or other areas that have been affected by them. This could mean that this new enhanced or evolved Nomu can teleport places with Kurogiri's quirk. Whether or not this Nomu has Kurogiri's warp gate quirk, we'll just have to see, but it's pretty apparent that this chapter is setting up Shigaraki's next move. Like I said, he's been laying low for a while. It's obvious that he's building up more enhanced Nomu and that he's planning to make a move. Which brings me to my second point about Icarus. This chapter gives us our first interaction with the hero Hawks. At 18 years old he went pro. Later that year he started his own hero office, and by the time he was 22 became the third ranked hero in all of Japan. If anyone has flown to great heights too quickly, it's Hawks. Now, I'm not saying that Hawks is going to suffer the same fate as Icarus. He's not necessarily going to ascend to great heights and automatically fall from glory, but it's important to note that this chapter is a turning point for many characters. All Might is no longer the symbol of peace. Endeavor must replace him as the #1 hero. Hawks is right behind Endeavor. Hawks just asked Endeavor for a team up. Now, I don't think Endeavor's gonna get mad because he's a young hero and he's brash and he's not by the book and gonna shoot fire at him. But this chapter could be sort of the gateway for the students of UA to learn that being a hero is a very serious job. I'm not saying that Hawks isn't a good hero, but it seems that his demeanor is kind of immature. He doesn't take it too seriously, and I think he's too talented to see any danger in this. So I do think he's going to parallel Icarus for the students of UA. Now, whether he dies or gets injured, I don't know which is going to happen, but something will happen. Also, the last chapter, we saw that Tokoyami interned at Hawks' place, so we've already established a connection between the students of Class 1A and Hawks. So now that Endeavor and Hawks have to tackle this Nomu situation in Hawks' area, something bad is going to happen, and our class is going to learn that being a hero is tough work the hard way. However, regardless of his youth and possibly his arrogance, his attitude toward the hero rankings is correct. Hawks realized this from the beginning, and now the other heroes are starting to realize this, which is you can't just put all your eggs in one basket. You can't trust one person to keep your entire society safe. All Might was charged with that job, and honestly, it burdened him too much. Hawks has the right idea at approaching what a hero is supposed to be. Team-ups are great. Kamui Woods is now teamed up with Edgeshot. That's another one that I'd like to see flushed out in a further chapter. Also, I'd like to see the whole relationship between Mountain Lady and Kamui Woods. But Hawks has the right idea. Even though he's young and possibly arrogant, he knows, and we know, and society knows, and now all the heroes are slowly accepting this fact that they can't have this #1 hero, All Might. They have to do the work themselves, and no one person is going to be the difference between good and evil in your society. I really like what Horikoshi did with this chapter, specifically the Icarus symbolism, and the fact that you know something's going to happen. This chapter is setting something up. The heroes now realize that All Might is gone. They are the last to realize this. Society caught on pretty early, and this is what the villains have wanted to do for a long time. The symbol of peace is gone. I know he's not dead, but he's out of commission. And Shigaraki has been laying low. Kurogiri possibly, but definitely Shigaraki have been custom making these enhanced Nomu, and I love how that's just teased at the end of this chapter. So I'm not sure if anything huge is going to happen in chapter 186, but get ready because some huge battle is going to happen, and I hope that Icarus gets smart. So get ready. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Kurogiri Nomu with the Warp Gate quirk ability so that they can teleport anywhere or even teleport other people. And let me know what you think about the Icarus symbolism of this whole chapter. If you like Boku no Hero content, consider subscribing and enrolling in UA today. Until next time, Plus Ultra.